made smoother than your smoothest criminal. Shamo, about that money, what we get into. Shamo, about that money, get residuals. Shamo.
Yes. Yes, 2 times. Y'all know the vibes though. She like, ooh la la, we green. They go, ooh la la, we green. She like, ooh la la, we green. They go, ooh la la, we green. Okay, ooh la la, we green. Like, ooh la la, we green. She like, ooh la la, we green. Ooh la la. Looking for M's like I lost a friend. Hop out of the bed like, where's the bread? What it do, people? You're now tuned in. POPAVIST, that's me. POPAVIST TV, that's my show. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up in here one more again. So if it's your first time, then the question really is, where you been? Over here, we deal with sports, hip-hop, entertainment, interviews sometimes, Popavisms 101, and motivation. I got mine in the gym today. How about you? If that sound like something you can rock with, then before you exit to the left and do your little usher dance off this page, do the kid a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, smash that notification bell, so when I upload the videos, you get alerted. You get alerted when I upload the videos, and if it's not your first time and you've been rocking with the channel, thank you. But you know how I do. You know how I start the show. Tony, there was no other way. We ain't in the end game now. We ain't in the end game. Come with that. But let's speak about relationships more. I mean, djenvy. Woo! I don't think nobody envious right now. And he getting clowned. Let's call it what it is. A lot of dudes is clowning. A lot of women is clowning too. Like crazy shit crazy. So djenvy from the Breakfast Club. I did a video on. I did maybe like 2 videos on him. On the whole Kwame Brown and then Kevin Samuels and, you know, his pops and all that. You know, sometimes he do pander a little bit. You know what I mean? Derek Jackson, getting your Derek Jackson on, and, you know, you say what you think the people want to hear so you don't get canceled, you don't lose your job. And I never understood the people that's already good, like I'm good, you know what I mean? T-Pain, Kanye. When you good, like who gives a fuck if somebody's trying to cancel you or, you know, try to silence your voice? The Kyrie, you know what I mean? 50,000 for the fuck you signs to the fans in Boston. It's just pretty much when you have a lot to lose, meaning like you're not good. You just got the regular job. You can't really afford to lose no money. You taking care of yourself. Other people may be dependent on you, and you don't have no wiggle room to speak freely. But anytime you can speak, I mean, you should always really speak your mind. Obviously, you have to put some respect and some courtesy on, or sensitivity on the topic, depending on what it is. It could be death, it could be, you know what I mean, something dealing with kids, or, you know, drug addiction and family problems, obviously. But you still want to speak a word to the right, and you still want to be truthful and keep it a buck. But sometimes you got to be a little easy when you say it. That's why a lot of people get mad, or a lot of women get mad at KS, because he don't be sugarcoating it. He give it to them like, you know what I mean? He think they need to hear it. But anyway, his wife, Gia or G, you know what I mean, Casey, came out, and they both came out. They got a book coming out. I don't know the name of the book. So they on a world tour with Muhammad, my man, going east to every state with the mic in their hand. London, Houston, VA, right? And pretty much the book is about, you know, how they was obviously childhood sweethearts, which is fabulous. I mean, you hear a lot of people, you know, they be childhood sweethearts in high school, then they get married, and then 15, 20 years later, 17, 13 years later, it's not hitting like it used to. And it's like, damn, I've been with this woman for my whole life. Or I've been with this man for my whole life. I don't know what it is like to be with another man. And you start seeing things on social media, and you start getting to thinking like, am I missing out on something? And so then you end up breaking up, or you get in a divorce. So we hope that don't happen to them. But we know that he cheated, allegedly, maybe, kind of, sort of. with you know, the Love and Hip Hop chick, Erica Mendez. And when that happened a few years ago, he was on the world tour with Muhammad, my man, like going to the Breakfast Club, going to these different stations in the morning and all that, and talking about his infidelities, pretty much, you know, doing what he needed to do to keep his family together. They got 6 kids, if I'm not mistaken. So I think he about, what, 37, 35, or maybe even like 40 maybe. So they've been together for a long time. And kudos to them for making it last forever so far. But now they got the book coming out, and apparently she's saying that for a long time, before they got married, that he wasn't pleasing her. That he wasn't taking her to the top, like all the way up. Like, and because she was faking it, like, you know what I mean? You got to add the deception in there because egos is fragile, especially the man ego. Man ego can be real fragile. That's why, you know, you hear women always allude to, you know, when a guy gets cheated on, it hurts like a knife in your heart, like, Lydia, and this is the big one. Because you'd be like, damn, I mean, she really gave them buns up to somebody else. Like, yeah, nigga, she did. She was doing all types of, you know what I mean, free shit with the next guy. And so they say it hurts more, and I think it does, for whatever reason that is. You know what I mean? And I know what it's like to be cheated on. I know what it's like to cheat. You know what I mean? But the point is, you know, now they're coming out with the book. You know what I mean? Again, I don't know the title of the book, but they pretty much trying to maybe kind of sort of be the poster kids, childs for working through problems. But the thing is this though, just like with the Mano, like Mano, I just did a video on Mano. You can have whatever fantasy you want, any dark, twisted fantasy that you choose to have. And whatever you do behind your closed doors when nobody's looking, you can do. As long as you ain't harming nobody and no dogs and animals and kids are getting hurt, you can do what you want to do as an adult. You know what I mean? And nobody would care if they don't know. It's only till, right, when you say, come on in, like the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and it's like, this your first time tuning in, where you been? So I always ask, like, come on in. When you bring people into your bedroom and your life, now that's when all the eyes and the critiques and people start looking like, oh, shit. You know what I mean? What's going on in their house? And then people got an opinions and they got voices, and now they talking about you and your wife. So she came out on the Shade Room, I believe. It's a little clip spending, and I still haven't figured out how to, you know what I mean, put the stuff up on the screen yet. I think you got to do it from the computer. I be doing it from my phone. You know what I mean? It's easy for me. I do what's easy, not on some lazy shit, but I like to keep consistency, and I like to keep it authentic, and I like to do it the way I like to do it. But soon, I'm going to definitely have that. I would have put the clip up for y'all. So you just got to take my word, or you got to go Google it yourself. So they on the Shade Room, and she's talking, you know, like, we was very young, and you know, I didn't, you know how to reach orgasm, and I, you know, was learning my body, and obviously him as well. You know what I mean? When you're 17, you are still figuring it out. You know what I mean? Nobody's a porn star at 17. You know what I mean? T.I., porn star, off that album, Paper Trail, fire song. You know what I mean? So she was like, you know, it was a lot of things that we was discovering, and you don't know how to communicate. And again, this went on for a few years, that she was lying and not telling the truth and making him think that he was daddy, big daddy, you know what I mean? And so, till one day after the marriage, I don't know how many kids they had till then, they were in bed doing whatever, because he thought he was putting it down. When she get a little attitude, men always kind of say this too, and women admit to this as well. Like, sometimes you just gotta, you know what I mean, assert yourself, fellas, and be a man, because we men, ain't we? Like on the Manosphere channel, we men, ain't we? You gotta, you know what I mean, do what you gotta do and put her straight, so to speak. And you read between the lines. So she was like, because she gassed him like all the way up to think that he was doing, you know, the mostest, he always would try to use that. Like, let me just give her some of the D, and, you know what I mean, give her the vitamin D, and she'll be all right. The attitude, the cease and desist, and we'll be good again. And for the most part, that does happen in relationships, you know what I mean? And vice versa. You know what I mean? Women do it too. Let me just, you know what I mean, go do what I got to do and ease his nerves. He been on edge, rough week, stress at work. You know what I mean? Shit ain't going right. Took some losses. So, you know, we use that as a sex, that is, as a form of relief. That's one form of relief. And working out and eating well, etc., is also prayer. And so, because he thought he was the man, he was like, let's go to bed and do woo, woo, woo. And she was like, it always dreaded her because she would consent to it. But in the back of the mind, it's like, that's not it. And it's like, you just going through the motions. Meanwhile, he doing the mostest. Like, you know what I mean? Don't be whipped by that. Really, reverse it like a circle and whip that, you know what I mean? And so she had to tell him during the argument when it got heated, like, yo, you know, you don't really be taking me to the top. Like, I'm not going to the top of the mountain. And he was like, a word? Like, all the time? Like, and that's you. Like, you could have just imagined, like, being in their house when this shit took place. And that's you, djenvy. And so she told him, and, you know, like he said, it crushed his ego. And the thing is, again, you know, for some people, they're gonna clown, whether it's positive, negative. People just going to do what they want. And then some people going to take positive, like, nah, they've been together for mad long. You know, they showing us how to do it. 6 kids, steady relationship. You know, obviously he cheated the one time that we know of. We don't know if she cheated. Some people in the comments is like, yeah, she probably did cheat, especially if she wasn't getting off. And I come to think that, you know, for the person that didn't cheat in the relationship, right, as being on both sides, like a circle, person that gets caught, obviously if you're trying to keep your relationship, then you do want to get past it as fast as possible. You want her to forgive you and your sorry ass and your transgressions, and you want it to be forgetting about it and move on. And anytime that is constantly brought up to, you know, to get leverage in a relationship or what have you, you know what I mean? It's like, sometimes it's best to get out. You know what I mean? And then people was quoting the Jada, Dwayne Wade, which we talk about in 1 second. And it's like, if you're gonna stay, then you have to forgive. That's my stance. Like, you can't fake forgive, then every little thing come up because you a lying ass, you a cheating ass, and you lied, you cheat, slept with my friend, like, you know what I mean? Kelly Price, Whitney Houston, rest in peace. You know what I mean? And to me, that's just it's a recipe for disaster. Like, you're either gonna forgive and work through it, really, you know, maturely try to get through it, do all the work that needs to be done so that you can get past it, or you really probably should just dissolve the relationship, because again, resentment comes. Then it's the old revenge factor, and that's what people were saying. Like, she's still scorned. Obviously, he's djenvy. She's relatively not known or only known because she's djenvy wife. You know what I mean? So, you know, people like, you see the Housewives, you see all the reality shows, and you hear that they was trying to get a reality show. I don't know why they just don't do it on their own. He got the means to do it, but they saying she want the glory. Like, she want the fame and the fortune, even though she got the fame and, you know what I mean, she got the fortune. She want to be famous. So people are saying, and I don't know if that's true or not. If it is, cool. Who am I to tell her she can't be famous? But the thing is, whether you trying to walk people through, because that's what they say on like these the Manosphere channels and the women's fair, the red pill, blue pill, pink pill, which one you want? We got it all and it's all for sale. They be like, the main thing is like, these people ain't married. These people ain't got no, when you go to the Manosphere, they saying all this shit, but where's the women at? Or in some cases, niggas be like, where the hoes and the bitches at? And I'm being funny, but I'm not. Where's the women at? I ain't got no women. I mean, you talking all this women shit, but where's the girls? Where's the ladies? So I can understand that, because it's like, would you go to, you know, a chef to learn how to fight? You know what I mean? Or would you go to a boxer to learn how to cook? Now, probably the boxer can probably cook, but most likely the chef ain't going to teach you how to do no 3-point stance and duck and bob and weave. Same thing with swimming. You're not going to go to a teacher unless they're a swimming teacher to learn how to swim. So you do have to have expertise, if you will, in certain areas and departments of life, because it's how you going to tell me how to get money if you don't got no money. That's why like, motherfuckers always tell you how to do it, but they never did it. Like, you know what I mean? But now they always got something to say, but you never did it. So how the fuck are you going to tell me what's going to be right and exact for me, or what's going to work in my life and my relationship, when you're not even in a relationship, or you don't have no history? You're single your whole life. You haven't had a man yet or a woman yet. So I get that. But it's the difference between being a poster child, like we got the perfect marriage, perfect patty, and putting all your business out in the street. Now, if you watch the whole interview or the little clip that I seen, because the first clip that I seen, it was only a small piece. So it was just like, yeah, he wasn't pleasing me. And it was like, damn, that's fucked up. But when you watch it, you know, the lady was like, how long, you know, did you tell him since y'all been together? And she like, maybe like 11, 10 years. And I think they've been together now 23, 24, whatever, in total. So the problem is not there no more. So even though she did put his information on blast, and as a man, that does hurt when you whether you think you're doing something or not, big, small, your member that is, and Kevin said exactly how big are you? Because, you know, it's the motion of the ocean, and then you even hear someone say, I don't want it that big, and, you know, I'll take just right, and whatever works for you, works for you. So that's not the issue, even though it can be, you know what I mean? It can be. Size does matter. It's all emotion, and all you know what you're doing. And so she said they corrected that. So now he does know what he's doing. He know how to please her. But she said that also was part of why he stepped out. And I can attest to that as well. First, you know, when you single, living as a single guy, and you smashing, and you sowing your royal oats like Hakeem and Coming to America, you know what I mean? Fuck you too, you know what I mean? Like when you come into America to sow your royal oats, men this is, and I'm only speaking to men because I'm a man, and we men, ain't we? You don't really care about women getting off if you just smashing and passing, or you just having fun. Like, you know what I mean? And some may and some not, but for the most part, definitely keep it a buck on the channel. I know POPAVIST, we're going to be full transparency. We're going to keep it a buck. You know what I mean? No caps. They don't. You know what I mean? Now, if she bad and you interested, or, I mean, my always thing is that one time I didn't care as well. You know, I don't get too in depth about certain things because it's not really that serious to put can't really put all the business out there. Maybe in the book one day, maybe. But then another time it was like, yeah, anything new, kill season. I gotta let it be known that I know what I'm doing, and Scorpios, we the best. So that was mindset. So I don't care how you look, what you're dealing with, putting it all the way in. Like, you're gonna get that work. Like, you know what I mean? Like homie in the battle, Harlem stand up, you know what I mean? And y'all know what I'm talking about. You're gonna get this work. And then at another time, it's like, yeah, I don't really care. Just you let me smash, I'm smashing. I'm getting mine, and you don't get yours. And oh well, a lot of guys do have that mindset. But back to them in their relationship. She was saying he stepped out because I guess after she told him, that's not it, and you're not pleasing me, that can crush your ego. And then so what do you do as a guy that's handsome, you know what I mean? Got shit going for yourself. You in these clubs, you spinning. Him I'm talking about, not me. I mean, I'm handsome as well. You know what I mean? You are going to have chick. You're like, you know what? Wife saying I ain't doing it right. Well, let me see what this chick got to say, because she on the body. So let me see. And let me see what she got to say. Let me see what she got to say. And that's you. And then all of a sudden, when you look up, it's like 5, 7, 8 joints. You just went hand, like harder than the motherfucker. And all of them came a few times. Squirt, squirt, splash, splash. Like Easy-E. Splash, splash, splash. As you can see, I straight waxed that ass. Back up, bitch, unless you want nut in your eye. As we deal with sport, hip-hop, interviews, POPAVIST 101, and that's on the Nigga for Life album. That's one of my favorite songs, and as ratchet as it is, he killed it. Or Ice Cube killed it, whoever wrote it for him. Splash. Like, you know what I mean? You doing that to, one, say, hold on, is something wrong with me? Because I can't please her. It's the woman I love, it's the woman I'm with. I'm not doing it right. But Becky down the block, Keisha up the block, Denise around the corner, they all say, you know what I mean? And then it's the fact too, because people was getting on them, like, well, how you know she ain't, how you didn't know she was faking it? And then you gotta say, have you been faked on before? Do you know when a woman's fake? This is for the fellas, you know what I mean? Do you know when she's faking it? Do you not know? You know what I mean? And he was like, because of the sound. This is what he was saying, not me. This is what he said out of his mouth. He like the oohs and the ahs, and you know, people in the comments is like, nah, it's the body language, just the you know and you do know. And that's you, like I know. You know what I mean? And not to say that never probably got faked before, because again, at one time I wasn't even trying to kid. And then there's times that like, oh no, I'm definitely gonna solidify for the first time, and after that it is what it is. And I'm just keeping it a buck. You know what I mean? You don't want to give the whack out, you want to give the strong out. So the thing is though, is it for public consumption? Is that something that she should have put out, that they should have put out? Was it reverse? Like if you reverse it, like don't be whipped by the bully, whip that, you know what I mean? If you reverse it, shout outs to Witherspoon, you know what I mean? Rest in peace, Boomerang. What if it would have been like, y'all went down on her and it wasn't so fresh and so clean, like, you know what I mean? Like, we all the coolest motherfuckers on the planet, my. What if it was not fresh and clean? It would smell like a cat litter box. What if he would have put that on blast? Would that have been cool? Would she have felt like, well, I use the right stuff now, and my vagina is fresh and clean now. So we got past that. Is that something that would have been acceptable to her? Putting her on blast like that. Or, you know, at one point in time, I wasn't getting hard, I wasn't getting up. I'm young to have erectile dysfunction, she just wasn't doing it for me. Would that have been acceptable? Well, people been ripping him. Like, damn, why you put that in the book about your wife, dog? I mean, nobody wanted to know that shit wasn't smelling good. Like, you know what I mean? So you just think about it in that sense, and that's why you hear Hove like, in the beginning, that is. Every time your name was brought up, I would act all nonchalant in front of an audience, like you was just another shorty I put the naughty on. But truth be told, you threw me for a loop. It's whole. I'm too old to be fronting when I'm feeling Denzel and acting like you ain't appealing when you are, fronting like you ain't my only girl when you are. I'm ready to stop when you are. And even in a lot of interviews, it's like, yo, you know, if I got something in my house, why would I broadcast, you know, something of value or something that's mine to the whole world? To all the niggas in the project. Now, every time you walking in your projects and you walking home, everybody know your business. And for the most part, that protected their relationship. That's the blueprint for the relationship. And then you hear a lot of people that keep their shit private because that's your business, son. Everybody don't need to know your business. They could have came out with different bulletin points on what works for them, how to argue, how not to go in so much, when to pull back, when to walk away. You know what I mean? When did they discover their, you know, love language and things of that nature? Like, you know what I mean? What, you know, what you can possibly maybe do in your relationship as opposed to put him on blast. And some people don't even think it's blast. And that's because today in the Truman Show and social media, that is all for sale. Like everything is for sale. So they don't really see no, you know, no limits and no boundaries set. Everything is for the gram. Everything is for YouTube. Everything is for public consumption. But I think they could have put their book out. Still went on a world tour with Muhammad, my man. Go to each and every state with the book in their hand, and still made a killing. Obviously, they're not hurting for no money. He on the radio every day. I don't know, you know, what type of business ventures, and I don't really know what she do or what she does. Let me move this over here real quick. I don't know what she do or what she does, but I know they're not hurting for no bread. So it's like, you don't really got to sell the book that much. So that's probably going to be one of the highlights in the books, if you ask me, is about, I think it was called the chapter in the book. I don't remember the book name, but the chapter called Faking It. Like some people say, fake it till you make it. You know what I mean? And obviously faking it, you know, that don't really get you nowhere.